All right, as we're wrapping up this UFC 251 preview, it's now time to turn the spotlight on the ladies and another rematch, Jordan. This card is just unbelievable. Every time I come to the next one, I'm like, wow, this is a great fight too. Rose Namajunas is back after an extended layoff, taking on Jessica Andrade. This is in the women's strawweight division, a rematch of the championship fight from last spring, one that saw Jessica Andrade and Rose Namajunas' reign as the champion in the strawweight division. As I look at this matchup, I think, Jordan, that the winner will become the next title challenger in the 115-pound weight class. Namajunas coming in as the favorite. She opened up at minus 195, and then some money is coming in on the underdog. She is now at minus 170. Jessica Andrade, she was plus 165 to open, and I've seen now the odds are down to plus 145. Give us your take on this matchup.
Well, first off, Colorado proud, Thug Rose Namajunas. She trains and lives here in Colorado, so that's someone who I've had a connection with. I met Rose a few years back, actually at an LFA show for that matter. But I've just followed her acutely ever since she was on the Ultimate Fighter.
Yeah,
I think Rose is the real deal. Personally, I thought that she was dominating that first matchup against Andrade, and it was just a simple technical mistake and a flaw in that she held on to that Kimura for too long, and she ended up getting dumped on her head instead of being able to spin off of it. Aside from that, up to that point, she was in almost every facet of that fight. She was better. She was better within a lot of the grappling exchanges. She was piecing her up on the feet, standing up, and her hands looked so technically clean. I mean, obviously she has, a lot of great influences behind her with her striking game, with Pat Barry, obviously, and then with Trevor Whitman in the mix.
Right.
But, I just thought that was such a and I hate to say fluke, because then that seems almost disrespectful to Andrade, and I'm not trying to do that by any means, but that was kind of a Hail Mary sort of situation where she had to rely on, when your technique goes out the window and all you have left is brute strength to kind of just power through something. That's the point at which Andrade found herself. Yeah. And it just happened to work out in her favor. So yeah. I like Rose in this matchup personally.
Well, and it plays off the fact that the odds makers are agreeing with you that this was possibly a Hail Mary type situation. Basically, is Rose losing that fight last spring and she comes in as the favorite, that it's intriguing when you see that. But it was the body slam heard around the world. When Andrade, she just drove Rose to the canvas, and I couldn't agree with you more, Jordan. That was a fight that Rose was basically dominating that first round with real crisp striking and movement. But that's MMA, one mistake and you're looking up at the lights, and that's what kind of happened. And truthfully, I'm glad to see that Rose took a little time to come back, because it really was a pretty scary, body slam that you rarely see fighters land the way she did. It was extremely scary. Fortunately, she was not injured. She bounced back, and now she's looking for revenge. And that's why I think this makes this such an intriguing rematch between the two. Will Rose pick up where she left off, and or will Jessica be able to just use that brute strength? I think the blueprint for success for both of these guys is exactly what was working in the first fight. So it comes down who will be able to implement that game plan. And and be able to come out a winner. But I'm leaning with you on this one. I like Namajunas, especially with the time off and rebuilding her fight game. But it should be a very intriguing fight for sure.
I agree, definitely.